What is good, fight fans? It's Ashley's Corner. Sunday morning. Yeah, I had to get my Z's in after the fight. I had to get my Z's in. And my phone, for some reason, I think it was my application, was acting funny as hell. It didn't let me post nothing at all. And I was trying to find another application that worked. And I ended up realizing that I just have to update my application and update YouTube. And it worked. So here I am making my video about Pedraza, the Pedraza and Loma fight. Oh man, yo. Sometimes when I'm right, I'm not the type to rub it in. I'm not. Whenever Mikey Garcia fights, because I know that's gonna happen before probably he fights Tank. Whenever Mikey fights Lomo, if Mikey end up stopping Lomo, I'm not gonna rub it in. I'm just gonna say that's what I said. And I'm gonna say the same in this video. That's what I said. Okay? Everything that I said about this fight before the fight took place, of course, I think it was 2 videos ago. The last video I just put out was probably an hour ago. I put out a video about 2 minutes long. The video before that is my video of the prediction of the fight and how I thought the fight was going to play out. And I was right. And Lomo, man, he looked dotted up after this fight. Be honest with yourself. Lomo looked like he was upset after the fight. Visually, in the little post pressure and everything, he just looked uncomfortable, like he didn't want to be there, like he was supposed to go to a party after the fight, but he can't go now because his face looks the way it does. He was mad at the way this fight played out. I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody says. Lomo is not happy with himself about how this fight played out, and I don't care I don't care, bro. I don't. I mean, it's not the first time he's had a couple dots on his face after the fight, but bruh, this fight didn't go the way he wanted it to go. It didn't. And I know you guys seen it even more in the 11th round. And what Tank Davis put on Twitter was absolute fact, okay? 42 power punches in the 11th round. Sheesh. And it's true. Gervonta said, but didn't stop him. It's mind-boggling to me how y'all think Lomo got all of this power and the man could the man hit everybody flush 112 times, bruh, and he don't stop nobody. He might drop him, but they gonna get up, hit another 100 times, and then they might stop the fight. Like, bruh, real power, all you need is 1 or 2 punches. That's real power, bruh. Just be honest. He doesn't have all of that power that y'all... And a lot of people don't say this, but his fans, bruh, when I first started talking about Lomo, because I'm a big Tank fan, and I was saying, yo, Tank will stop Lomo if they fight each other. You know how much hate mail that I got? Oh, my God, yo. Everybody thought I was on crack just for saying the shit. But now I see a lot of people changing heart right now after the fight. Why is that? Is it because I was right? That the man really don't have that much power? I'm not taking away from his fight game. He got great footwork. He's a great boxer. Have great IQ. But be honest, he don't got no power. That's like, just being honest, that's like saying Wilder don't have no power. It's because you hating. Bruh, be honest. Be honest. Honesty is key when it comes to shit like this. Because the truth will come to light. Now, this is the Cop U box. Alright, I don't know if it's, anything official. But this is the total punches landed, thrown. Jabs landed, thrown. Power punches landed and thrown. Look at those damn stats, man. And I'm showing you this right now to lead up to my next point. From point to point, look at this. Power punches. 345 power punches thrown, 158 landed. That's a lot of power punches. That is a lot to not stop a motherfucker. That's a lot. All right. Pedraza's accuracy was off as hell, and it shows in his total punches landed and thrown. 931 punches thrown, 111 landed. Now, I said Pedraza needs to have a bigger punch out rate when I initially made my video stating about how this fight was going to play out. And I said what Pedraza needs to do to win this fight in that video. And what I said is he needs to throw at least 100 punches around to 150 punches. And that's not what he did, saying that He threw 931 punches total. He didn't do that. And I honestly think if he would have, like, you'll see. I mean, if y'all watch the post press conference, and the post press conference is what is the questions that they're asked by the media after the fight, then you'll see what I mean by when I say that. And it's like Lomo never watch the Pedraza versus Tank fight. And I understand it's not on YouTube still, but you can find like a nice highlight joint, like 7-8 minutes on YouTube. If he would have watched that, he would have knew when it come to fighting Pedraza, that uppercut is there all day. All day that uppercut is there. He really didn't throw that many uppercuts, and when he did, Lomo landed him. But it just seemed like you didn't watch that fight. If he would have watched that fight, he probably would have stopped Pedraza. He probably would have stopped him. But I don't think he took notes at all. I don't think he even watched Ray Beltran versus Pedraza fight. Fucking the way I seen this shit. It's like Lomo couldn't do nothing with Pedraza until he figured him out. It just seemed like Lomo isn't good at adjusting in the middle of the round. Usually you gotta go to the corner. A lot of fighters gotta go to the corner, hear what the trainer and what the corner is telling them so they can adjust and go back out. Lomo's not a good one. He can't. I don't think he can really do that much adjusting during rounds. When it comes to somebody that he's fighting with a bigger reach than he does, because I mean, you've seen him adjust in other fights when he was fighting them little guys. You know, guys that's not even supposed to be in the ring with him. This right here was like kind of a rude awakening for the fans of Loma. That's why a couple of people is changing their whole thought process about Tank versus Loma or Mikey versus Loma. They changing it. They're saying that Loma will lose against Tank and Mikey Garcia, and I've been saying this shit since the beginning. Loma, I give respect to Loma. I give my hat off to Loma. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm telling you the truth, all right? This is really actually how I feel. I've been saying this shit since last year. Tank is one of my favorite fighters, and I ride with my favorite fighters. I don't fucking be like, oh, nah, I don't know about that. I'm not being biased. Honestly, in this situation, I think Mikey Garcia will stop Loma, and I never thought otherwise. In this situation, I think Gervonta Tank Davis stops Loma, and I've never thought otherwise. I've never changed my opinion, and it's still what it is to this day. Other people's changing theirs, though, because they seen this fight. Now, I got to give Loma the benefit of the doubt by saying he was off from an injury. But, like I said in my last video, before this fight happened, he said his shoulder was 100, and he didn't have no problems with it. Now, moving on. But I said it, yo. It's like, I mean, this is not the same Pedraza, though, yo. He's not fighting. He's not going to be fighting the same way he fought Tank. He stood up to Tank. You know, you can't even, the way he fought Tank, you can't fight Loma in that way. You can't stand in front of Loma. So that's not what he did. He fought Loma the way you're supposed to fight him. And he did a good job, yo. He did a good job. You got to give a man his credit. He didn't quit. He got up both times after, I think one of them was a body shot, and he got up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you gotta just give him the respect just for that. And I said that, you know, you got to punch with Loma. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, he really wasn't punching with Loma. You know what I'm saying? And I told you Pedraza's game plan was keeping him on the outside since he had a 5.5-inch reach on Loma. I said that wasn't a good plan only because when he does get on the inside, it seems like they didn't prepare for that. And the 11th round was all the proof I needed to be right about that point, because it took Loma it took him until the 11th round almost to really get on the inside. And when he did, he dropped Pedraza. Pedraza got up, he dropped him again. And then it was the end of the round. Or he was kind of saved by the bell. You know what I'm saying? But just like I said, you're not going to keep Loma on the outside for 12 rounds. He got in on the 11th round, and because of those two drops, it made it a 10-7 round. And, you know, that made any person who thought the fight was really close, it wasn't after that. Any person who thought that it wasn't close after that 11th round was over because he dropped him twice. Now, Now, my initial, what I said, as far as the winner of the fight was going to be Lomo, and I said it was going to be in a decision. And I said it possibly could be, 10th round stoppage. I was right. My first assessment was right. It was a decision. He did not stop Pedraza. It was a decision. But let's talk about after the fight. Let's talk about the post fight pressure. Let's talk about that. Okay. Reporters, it just seems like the reporters and the Lomo fans is trying to search for some compliments after the fight. They need compliments, okay? So they asked Pedraza, what's the difference in between Tank and Lomo's punching power? Basically was the question. What's the difference between their punching power? Pedraza said what I thought he would say, and I'm glad he told the truth. He said Loma is a fighter that breaks down his fighter, which is the opponent, little by little. And Davis is the fighter that knocks out his opponents with just one punch. You see the difference? And I know it sounding like a broken record, but I needed to say this shit so many times last year, doing video after video after video for people to understand what the fuck I'm trying to say. Gervonta Tank Davis is a lot more powerful than Loma. Okay, there I said it. But you see, the reporter didn't like that answer. Okay, he didn't like that answer. So immediately, his next question was, "Who do you think is the overall, better fighter?" And he said Loma, of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's gonna say Loma. Of course he's gonna say Lomo. He would be looked at real backwards if he didn't say Lomo. Shit, Tank said Lomo got more skill than Bud Crawford. Like, we already know when it comes to the better all-around boxer, it's going to be Lomo. Lomo got a lot of skill, man. He just don't have no power. All right? And FYI, Pedraza's face looked fine. He could have went to a party. He could have went on the first date. He could have did whatever the hell he wanted to do after this fight. That lets you know that the man don't have that much power, yo. 40-some power punch in the 11th round. He have a scratch on him. Not a scratch on him, okay? All right. Now, Loma was asked about the fight, and he said Pedraza had a very good jab, and I quote, that's what he said. He had a very good jab, and he changed positions every round. He said he changed shit up every round, and he boxed smart, And that's how I know from after seeing what I seen and hearing this, I was like, yo, Lomo probably had a little bit of power, a little bit of problem adjusting to what Pedraza was doing, because just like I said, Pedraza had a 5.5 inch reach, and he knows how to use his reach in the fight. So him changing his position and his angles and his direction, just like I said, Pedraza got his own angles and good footwork. Lomo had a little bit of problem with that, He had some problems with it. Then Lomo was asked if he would consider a rematch, and Lomo said, for what? A rematch for what? And he said, for who? The reporter said, for Pedraza. And Lomo said, then ask Pedraza. I thought that shit was pretty funny. Pedraza was in the post presser before Lomo. Of course, it's just like I said, but nothing wrong with Pedraza's face at all. Lomo got there a little bit after Pedraza. So Pedraza was asked his questions before Lomo was even in the room. And then Lomo came in, and then, of course, the media attacked Lomo with a bunch of damn questions. But, and then he said, and then Lomo said after that, after he said, then ask Pedraza, Lomo said, why you not prepared for this fight? Basically, he said, why aren't you prepared for this fight? And he said, why didn't you win this fight? You know what I'm saying? And then he said, it wasn't a close fight. And then Lomo said, for me, it wasn't even interesting. Like, it wasn't interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm going to move on. And then he said his shoulder, he was asked about his shoulder, and he said his shoulder and his health was 100%. He felt good. Everything was good. And everything was good. And he said he even threw that right hook a few times. He said he felt great. But After that, after all of that, the pressure was over in the hallways. I think Ellie Setback asked Pedraza what he thought about, excuse me, what he thought about the fight. And Pedraza said that he thought the fight was close. You know what I'm saying? A lot closer than what the judges said or whatever. And he thought the fight was close before the two drops happened or whatever. Him getting dropped in the 11th round. But, all in all, it was an all right fight. I know it was a eye opener for a few people, and I know a lot of people are going to hate this video, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep it 100 all day. Always like and subscribe to the channel.